The Supreme Court is the second most highest government office in our political system, and they are second to the Congress and the Senate, who can make laws. But both the Congress and the Senate and the Supreme Court are under the Constitution. The Constitution is the highest written law of the land. It cannot be changed. It cannot be undermined. It has to be accepted as the way it is literally written. Now, the Second Amendment states that all persons have the right to own firearms for self-defense, to protect themselves, protect their children and their wives and their property, and that this is an unalienable right, meaning God gave it to the people, and the Senate cannot take these rights away. And yet, a few U.S. senators and congressmen and the Supreme Court decided that persons with felony convictions do not have a right to protect their lives with firearms. They do not have a right to protect their little children and their families and their property, and they denied them the right to own firearms. And it doesn't matter if this felon, this ex-felon, has been out of prison for years and is living an honest life in our society. It doesn't matter that there are millions of us like this in society, out there in society, living without the ability to defend yourself, your family, and your property. And this is how to show you how the masses or the majority can be so blinded like fools that they can deny the Constitution, what it says, and they make claims that the Constitution is some living, breathing document, that they can take it and stretch it and move it the way they personally want to see it applied, and then deny a group of people in this nation known as ex-felons the right to defend their lives and to protect themselves with firearms. And it must be noted that 70% of convicted felons who get out of prison stay out of prison for the rest of their lives. They do not return and recommit crimes. That is, if they've made it past 5 years. Now, there is a high recidivism rate amongst felons who, getting out of prison, they return within the first 18 months. 70% of them return. So you have 70% of the felons staying out of prison that stay out after 5 years, opposed to the 70% that return to prison within 18 months. So you have two types of convicted felons: the good ones who stay out, forget their past, and the bad ones who just continually commit violent crimes. The Supreme Court did not refuses to acknowledge that this group of people who stay out 5 years and never return, and we are in the millions in numbers, we do not have our constitutional rights. They have been subjugated by socialists, by persons in the Senate and persons in the Congress and persons on the Supreme Court. Our rights have been manipulated, maneuvered, and they have been denied. And you cannot take any group of people in America and deny them their right to bear arms.